So you've been waiting for something special, something tactical, something different. You have your eyes on the CZ Bren 2MS. We're here to help. We've got some things to say about this gun. Welcome to the Nutnfancy project review of this gun. I suspect we might depart from the interwebs on what they've had to say about this gun. Yeah, it looks cool though, doesn't it?
It looks super cool.
Yeah, it's kind of video game looking. We had our eye on the Bren 805 forever, its predecessor. I think that's what it was called, 805.
805. It's been in development for a long time. You heard a lot of news about it. It was always something everyone looked forward to.
And I honestly tried to get one for review for years, and there were no gun stores that I was associated with that had them. There's no way in hell I was going to go out and buy one. It was expensive. I could not find one to loan. No one we knew had one, so we never reviewed it. So the next best thing is Gunny's, the great American gun store. Round of applause for Gunny's, by the way. Thank you. Thank you to White and Company. We walked the store late one night. I saw the Bren 2MS there, and I was like, I got to review that.
About time.
I got to review it. Let's close the loop. I would say we've had a lot of requests to review the Bren. They've trickled in through the years.
Yeah, later it got less interest. The thing that really gave it some juice was the CZ Scorpion, because the Scorpion was so well received. Everyone thought everything that I love about that in 5.56 is coming right to market, cheaper, more durable, lots of aftermarket support.
Now, we've given so much positive press, so to speak, to CZ.
Yeah.
You're mentioning the Scorpion Evo 3. We love that gun.
Awesome.
We talked about it very positively in a lot of videos, dedicated reviews, CZ 75s of every sort and description. We love that one. CZ P07. Ours was a mixed bag, but overall the P07 is a really good gun. Show them that one, the P10 full size, and we spent a lot of airtime on the P10C. This is the F, the full size in OD. Fantastic guns. I mean, these are stellar. They're good as Glocks. That's right, I said they're good as Glocks. Go out and buy a P10. We love it. We really, really love it. He's a convert. He's a convert to the P10C. He was not on board. TD was like, I don't know, he's a Glock guy. He's like, and more he shot it, it grew on him. The P09's a great gun. And
I think it kind of shows the schism in CZ, because I bet you this is one they developed. This is more the civilian market. They're more up to date. They're reading trends. The Bren is a carryover from, their military sales division.
It is. It's an adaptation of the 805, and the 805 replaced the VZ58. And now it's in service with, the Czech Republic?
Slovakia?
And
Egypt?
And honestly, I don't know the whole service record of the 805, and I don't really care. But yes, it is an outgrowth of a military firearm adapted for use to the civilian market.
Yeah.
And the Bren 2MS pistol, and yes, this is a pistol. We've put the buffer tube on it and the brace. It's here, and I think for whatever reason, there's a lot of guys that when they see something like this new break into the market, they get super duper duper excited. And they go, that's what I want. Whether it's the Scar years and years ago, the Masada, what a letdown that turned out to be, the ACR, something different. And especially if there's some special ops stink on it of whatever sort description, guys just eat that up. It's a second cool attraction. They're like, special ops community loves it. So the overall question we'll have in the bunker here is this. Is it better than an AR-15, a value AR-15?
That's a hard question to beat, too.
Yeah, we might have a hint or two as we go along here. Oh, shit.
Can your AR do that?
There's a hint right there of what's coming up in this review, guys. So you might want to not quite check out, in your basket with a Bren 2MS quite yet.
You mean yours doesn't break open?
Yeah. We had some issues with this gun, obviously. And no doubt that will lead to controversy, that it was up to, it was our fault that did it, and maybe it was. We're good at breaking things. What can we say? We're good at breaking things. And if there is a fault in a weapon system, we generally can find it with the Curse of the Desert. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
We did it with the MCX.
Yep.
We've done it with a bunch of other black rifles, and I think it's more luck than skill. I'm not saying we're skilled at testing. It's more just a fluke that Murphy finds us and he jacks us up.
And it's not like we abuse them.
No, we're not abusing these guns
smacking
at
it
all.
on rocks.
No, we're not, dude. But there's other things we got to talk about with the Bren 2MS, to be honest, that we don't like. Assuming it ran 100%, assuming everything is as it's advertised 100%. First off, we got to get this gun back together.
So you need me to drop the mag in?
It's that bolt carrier group. That's got to get pushed in now because... okay, now close it.
Should I bring the hammer for it?
You should bring the hammer for it.
Boy, I sure do love this thing.
It's a piece of crap.
See, hammers. Let's see if that gonna do it.
Okay, and once again, what we are doing here, we had to do in the field. The upper and lower halves literally fell apart while we were shooting them. Yes, there is a reason. There is a reason it happened, as far as I know. I'll share that with you as we progress here. But can you imagine thinking you have the ultimate combat firearm and it literally falls apart on you while you are shooting it?
I am Captain Martir Boya of the Slovakian Special Forces doing a drug bust, and let me tell you, this thing kicks ass.
You didn't put the front pin.
I thought I had it aligned. Oh, you have to do the rear.
So, again, the overarching question is, does an AR-15 have these issues? I'll say right off the bat, no. Not a direct gas impingement AR-15 of a certain quality, medium quality or higher. No, it will not have these issues. By the way, he's still working getting these two.
There you go. Thanks for pausing that gunfight, boys. Let's get back to business.
Now, no doubt, the Bren 2MS owners will defend their purchase to the death, and they will come to this video and say, hey, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You're the reason the gun fell apart. Okay, but consider this. If you're going to make a combat-worthy tactical carbine, or in this case, pistol, shouldn't you make it idiot-proof?
Yeah.
Huh? Isn't that a requirement? Shouldn't you make it so little pieces don't break off and cause issues like this? Yeah, you should. I'm going to share with you what happened to this gun. But like we were saying before, we had to reassemble it through our lengthy process. And I know, guys say, it's no big deal. You just push out 2 pins and drop the lower. So, well, I know, we've done it. But when you have this issue, it's a little more complicated. The weight on this thing out of box is jacked. Says us, out of box, without the buffer 2, without the SBA3 brace on it, it's almost 7 pounds. 6 pounds, 8 ounces. And you guys will say, oh, it's nothing. Oh, and by the way, we opted for the 14-inch barreled version. There are different calibers available for this, different barrels. They've got an 8, 9, 11, and 14-inch barrel option, and it's also available in 7.62-39.
Well, it will be someday.
Oh, okay,
I'm sure.
gotcha.
Much like the 805 in the beginning.
Gotcha.
A bunch of different configure. For now, they're just doing the lightweight barrel.
Stand by for the availability, much like we've seen with some other guns. And SIG is to blame along those lines as well.
It's a little pencil barrel.
Okay, I'm getting to that. Let's talk about that now. So I'm saying out of box, and tell me if you disagree with any of this. It should be like 5 pounds if it's a pistol. It doesn't have a stock. It has a freaking pencil barrel on it. What you're seeing is a slab-slided aluminum upper that is expansive. Now, supposedly, the Bren 2MS underwent what CZ calls a strict weight loss regime. Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to lean towards more the maybe not side because this thing is still heavy. Consider this. It's only a 14-inch barrel. It's darn near a pencil barrel. So they're trying to save weight with this.
Learning from the Masada or the ACR.
Learning from the Robinson Arms XCR because Robinson Arms does the same thing. Everyone complains about the weight, and what does he do? Oh, well, let's go down pencil barrel. Hopefully nobody notices. It's still heavy. This gun is still heavy. It has a pencil barrel. Okay? But it also has a short handguard. Look at how short the handguard is. It's not coming out here. It's modular, so you can snap on a larger handguard or weight. That's more weight, more expense, but you could do it. And there are longer handguard versions that weigh more.
I just don't get it. I don't get what was going through their head.
So we're going to show you some competitive options that get it right. Are they as cool as the Bren 2MS? I don't know. But when we get down to a combat-worthy, in this case a pistol or a tactical carbine, dang, if it ain't working or if it ain't lightweight, without accessories on it, you've already started off on the wrong foot.
And that's why this reeks of military development to me. Because, you know, Slovakian SF doesn't have a choice, and they don't have the same market we do, where they go, dude, why don't do like M-Lock, do something lightweight, do it free-floated. Instead, they see a chunk of metal and go, ooh, nice, I won't be able to run that over with a tank and snap it in half.
No doubt, there's a lot of excited users on the Bren 2MS. They've had no problems. We're representing that here. And a lot of guys will say, hey, man, mine's only 6 pounds fully configured. Yeah, it is. You're probably running an 8-inch barrel, and it's a pencil barrel.
Yeah.
And you're probably running a red dot on it. As this gun is configured with a brace, the SBA3, which is a very lightweight brace. That's a light buffer tube. This is a lightweight scope mount. This is only a 3x9 scope. The gun weighs 8 pounds 5 ounces for a 5.56 pistol. You still want to add that to cart? Do you? If you say yes, keep watching, because we're going to change your mind. I bet. We're going to change your mind on the Bren 2MS. It's not all bad. There are some good things. There are some good cool things. Stuff. But we're just not on board with a weight thing right out of the gate. It's jacked up. If you brought it out of a box and it's like 5 pounds 5 ounces, I'd be going, oh, cool. But here's the deal. It's a short stroke piston. It can't be. It has a moving piston assembly right here. It's slab-sided aluminum. This is a lot of metal, guys. Look at all this metal. It has a full 1913 pick rail on top. It has to come with flip-up sights because it's a pistol. It's designed to be shot as a pistol, so you have to include the sights, which add about 4 ounces of weight. Yeah, I guess you could peel those off and shave some weight.
And they tease you. The sculpting here, you know, when they kind of mill it away and leave it for strength.
That's polymer, though.
They do it on the poly, but they don't do it on the metal.
Right. So this is a polymer lower, aluminum upper on the Bren 2MS. Okay?
You know, if we saw that up here, all right, at least they're putting some work in. They're trying to get it down.
Yeah, we're already talking about features, so we might as well just keep on trucking. A philosophy of use will be something other than an AR-15.
Yeah.
Done with POU. It's everything else is standard. So polymer lower, aluminum upper. It's a non-reciprocating charging handle that can also double function as a forward assist.
Cool.
That's cool. We love forward charging handles. Forward mounted, so cool. We love that. And it's easily swappable to this side, so lefties would like that, at least in that respect. Your safety is ambidextrous, right? So you have that.
It's a little short throw too. I like that.
Yeah, you had a gated magazine release on that side. So there is some ambidextrous quality to the Bren 2MS. I think the trigger's decent.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with it. I didn't pull it, so I don't have a number for you, but it's okay.
I like the battery of arms.
Yeah, it's very AR-15-ish overall.
Yeah, it's kind of that generation. The XCR has very similar ones too.
Right.
It's kind of that. Let's look at the AR and what few ways we can improve it. Let's do that. And
it
build a gun
really reminds me of a Robinson Arms XCR.
Yeah. Down to the trigger guard.
Yeah.
Bolt release.
Yeah, so that's a bolt release inside the trigger guard. That's cool. I'm not super fond of the tiny pistol grip on the Bren 2MS. I think it's too slender for me. It reminds me of Tango Down.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a Tango Down. Now, this is an interchangeable backstrap. I think you can put a different one on. We didn't do it. As we loaned it from Gunnies, we just took it as it came.
As long as you can change it. The thing that drives me crazy is some of these Primo guns will give you something and you're stuck with it. That was one of the ACR things I didn't really get.
Oh, that's
you
right.
You can swap anything after that thing.
Yeah, that does happen. You're stuck with this one because it is molded in.
It is. It's
right. You cannot swap that.
The
sucker.
Scorpions, yeah, it looks molded.
It's molded in, dude. You cannot put on a different grip. You can change the back straps. End of versatility for this gun. Oof. Okay, as it comes out of box, you have a flat end plate back here. There's going to be a lot of negative things said about this. Well, let's get into it. Here's one of them right here. Check this out, dudes. So this is as it came. After we mounted the tube up, it was worse, but it came out of box like this. Look, This is a $1,800 pistol. Let's say that again. Approximately $1,800.
That's like Daniel Defense territory.
DD doesn't do this. DD gets it right. If you buy a DD gun and it's like one of their higher end guns, I ain't going to come to the bunker and say, yeah, this is jacked up, this is jacked up. It's like expensive, but it's shit hot. Look at this, dudes. We had to shim it with a freaking hotel key right here.
Which is normal from the sound of it.
Yeah, everyone's talking about shimming it.
Yeah, they said it was within normal tolerances.
When they sent it back, or when they called...
I'll break the news to you a little bit. It is within normal tolerances. There is nothing wrong with your combat arm.
I would say you have, and I'm just guessing here, I didn't measure it, 2 to 3 millimeters of wiggle.
Yeah.
In a Bren 2MS. I just feel like the rest of the bunker review, we should just do this. Guys are like dragging it out of their cart now and like emptying their cart as we speak. Oh, wait, there's more. There's more. Yes, you thought we were done.
Which
we're not done.
I do like this system. I like the tail cap system
and
the pick grip. There are a lot of cool options out there, and there's a certain competitor that has something way better.
And we're going to show you that competitor, and they know how to do an end plate. They know how to do the whole folding stock thing.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, this is a pistol. We know this. It comes with an open threaded tail cap, which you can obviously thread on. I believe it's a mil-spec buffer tube, and that's what I did. Locked it on with a castle nut. Went out and bought yet another SBA 3. Thank you, TNP donors. Thank you. Because we didn't go to CZ for this review. They definitely did not donate this to us, as you see with some gun reviewers out there. We loaned it from Gunny's, the Great American Gun Store. And then if we need accessories, magazines, ammo, gas, food, we buy it from donation money. That way we can say whatever the hell we want about the guns.
I can't even imagine.
CZ hates TNP. They have for a long time because I'm not a reliable reviewer.
Could you imagine the passive-aggressive like bitch mail
you
would get next Monday? Hey, couple issues we had. One, we would prefer you not refer to our firearms as shitty. If you could maybe work around that. I'm not telling you what to say. I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just saying
maybe next time.
We prefer not to hear.
Right. If you want to stay on our mailing list, on our reviewer approved list.
We also noticed some ethnically unfriendly things toward both Swedish people and Muppets. If you could maybe cut that out, edit that out. You know, Muppets are a very big political class where we come from.
All right, so that is unforgivable. That is a showstopper in and of itself. If everything else was squared away, this is a showstopper. I think everyone who is reasonable gets this. And Bren, guys, go ahead and type your comment out right now about how, oh yeah, you just need to shim it. Dude, you're broken. You're broken. That you're defending an $1,800 gun and thinking that's A-okay and it's okay to stuff hotel keys and credit cards in there to shim it. Come on.
With many options.
Step back and look at yourself. If it was any other gun, you'd be going, hey, man, that's a piece of crap. But since you went out and spent money on this, you're on the internet defending it and raging against anyone who criticizes your purchase. Boom, truth dart.
Because it doesn't do anything that much better. An XCR around the same price.
We're going to get to all that.
Why should I put up with this for the? If it were $800, then I'd be like, yeah, you can't have it all.
It's definitely not lighter. We have established that. All right, let's keep going. So we put the mil-spec buffer on. Now it's cool because now we have a pistol that I can brace and shoot from the shoulder legally. I don't have to register it as an SBR. Cool. And so it took a while to set this gun up just for test and review. And to be honest, I was thinking, man, maybe this thing is awesome. It's a little bit heavy, but if it shoots good, man, awesome. I was hoping the best. It's not like we went out in the desert and go, oh, let's see if we can break this thing. We never do that. We want the gun to perform well. We'll get to that. Sling adaptation here. You have a double sling plate for like a mash hook.
I really love that.
Flush mounted sling swivel cups right here. That's all good.
That saves you some money.
You have an M-lock slot here, a pick rail on the bottom. Not a pick rail, but a M-lock slot on the bottom. And again, this is modular, so you can slide that off. Okay, here comes a breath of positivity on the CZ Bren 2MS here in the bunker. We love the gas adjustment system, don't we?
It's awesome.
It is perfect. This is how you do it. So straight up and down is position 1, standard setting. That's where we left it in the entire test. If you need adverse conditions, go to position 2, and I didn't need a bullet tip to change it.
I hate it when they do the knob, the like knurled knob with a hole in it.
Well, that's Kel-Tec. RDB, RFB, and it's not marked up. And granted, it gives you a lot of adjustment, but I've always said you don't need that much adjustment.
Yeah.
If you get your gas system balanced correctly, you don't need that much adjustment. They have a position 0 for shutting the gas system off.
Yeah.
So thumbs up to that. We love this gas system. Straight up and down, normal. Don't touch it unless you, I don't know, throw a can on it, and then you can experiment with the other position. You have a bayonet lug. That's cool. Needed.
I like them.
I like bayo lugs. I think they're cool. He tried to put on a U.S. manufactured bayonet, and it did not fit.
Yeah, I did the Marine Corps one and an old M7, and I would have to start hammering it on, and I didn't want to scratch the crap out of it.
It's a loaner gun. We can't do that. So that's good. I'm not digging the pencil barrel for a gun this expensive. I think you should be able to make it light enough. And I'm not saying I need like a heavy barrel. No, and the Scar 16 has a thin barrel too. We've talked a lot about that on Tabletop and Bunker, but I'm not super digging it.
The weight's in the wrong place, and this setup is like a chunkier woman with very small A cups. Have you seen that?
I know you love TD in the bunker. This is why you love him. He comes up with those fabulous analogies.
I mean, she got the meat. It's just not in the right spot.
Case deflector right here. Again, the forward assist is in the handle itself. We talked about the trigger. The controls are very AR-15-ish. We're not breaking it down because we're not interested in doing so. There's some good breakdown videos. It's super simple. There's just 2 push pins right here. Push, push. You pull that whole part out, and then you'll pull out the bolt assembly from the rear after you remove the rear plate. And here we go with the crux of the issue. Now, we'll say this. We're not experts on this platform. I don't know all the nomenclature. I don't really care. I do know this. We took it out to the desert, Sean and I, so went on multiple expeditions, and the damn thing fell apart on us.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. So there's a plastic piece on this end plate. So this is the end plate where you attach your buffer tube, right? There's a plastic piece. And I looked on their diagram for parts, and I could not find the proper name for it. But I'm going to call it the rear plate removal button. And it was a serrated plastic, get this guys, plastic button on a supposed battle-worthy weapon. It's made of plastic.
Flapjacks.
Okay, and what it does, I guess, is it removes this end plate for field stripping. There is a push pin here that interfaces in some manner with said rear button. Now, with that button gone, it's not doing much. But you see this yellow tape right here? That is a piece of plastic again, not metal, and I think it interfaces with that thumb retention. So it goes into the receiver, that plastic button comes down, it's held in place by the pin, and then things are good. Well, maybe they're not, because that button came out of position when we were firing it, and I tried to push it back in, and it snapped in half. Okay, so it just broke out in the field, and I'm like, what the hell? Now, did I push on it too hard? Listen to this. Who cares? Who cares? It's a battle weapon. Is there such a thing on pressing on a part of the gun too hard? What if you're under stress? What if you're in a hurry? Bang on it if you need to. It should be made out of anodized aluminum, 6,000 series at a minimum, 7,000 MIMmed steel. You're already at 8 pounds. Make it durable. No, it's made out of plastic. So here's what happened. While we're shooting, I didn't know the critical nature of that plastic button. I was saying, no big deal. It's just for the end plate. No. Apparently that retains the 2 receivers together. We demoed that already, and here we go again. I'm going to leave it like this for the rest of the review. Here we go, just like that. So that's what happened during the firing sequence.
Yeah.
More or less. It wasn't that exaggerated. It was like a little bit. It was like, I don't know, a 1/4 inch.
When I first picked it up, there was a triangle. And I remember thinking, that's a bold move, having a large open triangle into the guts of the rifle.
Now, maybe it was our fault breaking that piece. Maybe it wasn't. But the point is, should you really have a piece that breaks on a $1,800 .556 pistol? No. I don't care if it's my fault. I'll take the blame. Okay, I broke the gun. Cool. Why'd you make it breakable? I don't have that problem on AR-15. I don't have that problem on a SCAR. I don't have that problem on an ACR. Okay, yeah, I'm ranting because it's astounding to me that that is the case. Is there something we should have done to correct this? I don't know. I have 10 other guns that need to be ran through sequence, and I'm not going to sit there and spend 2 hours on the Bren 2MS. Sean and I talked about that. It's like, well, do you want to try to look for that piece and we'll try to rescue it? And we said, well, we tried for about 20 minutes, and we're like, screw it. What were you saying?
It's out of date to me because we've seen a rise of like rear pick rails, rear tail. Because everyone wants to do the pistol to rifle, let them do tubes, but they somehow turn this idea, which should just be slide on, retain, into this convoluted thing. Multiple
poorly designed.
There are better options.
And we'll show you again a competitive option, at least in the tactical carbine version, that gets it right. This whole issue with the wiggle and the plastic thumb retention system here. I'm sorry, I am not on board for obvious reasons. I've taped this to the side because I don't want to get lost. It's going to get sent back to CZ. I'm sure they'll fix it. And hey, man, it's just a matter of replacing it. I'm in a firefight and this happens. Holy hell.
You already gave
Holy hell.
8 pounds of metal, but that 1/10 of an ounce is what really screwed you.
8 pounds configured. We'll call it 6 pounds, 8 ounces out of box. But add another ounce to make it. You're not making a lightweight firearm. We've established that.
It's like, damn, bro, do some crunches. Do some sit-ups.
So here's what we had to do. So I'm sitting here out in the desert. I'm like, holy hell, I cannot drive another 2 hours out here to test this Bren 2MS because I got other outings, got other guns. Break out the Gorilla Tape. Break out the damn duct tape. So this gun, as you'll see in probably a lot of GoPro footage, because the Sony Cam footage was not imported and we lost it. Thank heavens I ran a GoPro secondary camera with Sean. Thank heavens, because now you can see some shooting. You may be looking at us in the bunker a lot. And we took it on other outings. But when we were shooting it, we put the two halves back together, and with duct tape, we were able to get some shooting done.
$1,800 firearm.
We're not making that up. So we shimmed, my voice breaking, we shimmed the rear plate. So that has a hotel key card in it. So it minimizes wiggle. It didn't get rid of it. It minimized it. Then we have duct tape on the side of the Bren 2MS, and that is how pretty much all of the shooting took place, including my accuracy shooting. I went out solo in the desert and I shot it, and with it duct taped, it was reliable. So mini clap for the Bren 2MS for being kind of reliable.
Only the best for Egyptian troops.
Indonesian? Do they? Yeah, they do. They use a 2MS, don't they? Okay, so we're astonished. Absolutely astonished that we had to deal with any of this. Again, we're just going to leave it like this for the rest of the bunker review. It's hilarious.
Now, what about this? Let's say you're the program director and they say, we want you to bring this up to speed with the civilian. Make it competitive in whatever way to make it lighter, make it more desirable.
Are you asking me as a designer what I could do to change the Bren 2MS to make it better?
Do you think it's salvageable? Could they save this overall design?
That's a big if. And the reason I say if is because they've decided to go with a monolithic aluminum upper. Once you've made that decision and you've decided to depart from the AR-15 M4 M16 formula, which is to say a small chunk of aluminum. If you look at an AR-15 upper, it's tiny. It's tiny. Look at this. Here comes M400 tread by Sig. Awesome competitive option. This is all you have. This is your metal right here. But that's not what they're doing. They're like, well, we're not going to go the M4 route.
It's got to be monolithic.
We're going to do a huge chunk of aluminum. So I'm going to say a big if. Because you would have to get rid of that to make it lightweight. They've already put a pencil barrel on it.
The monolithic is a very...
They've already gone on a massive weight loss program over the 805. How did it shoot? How did it shoot? Accuracy-wise, grab the paper there. We're going to show you. Now, for me, for us, when you have an expensive tac carbine or pistol in this configuration, a BPO, I expect it to shoot well. Okay, and I always think it's interesting when people say, well, you know, it's not designed to be, you know, a 1 MOA gun. 3 MOA is fine. That's kind of funny because when I review the M14, I hear a lot of complaints about its accuracy.
Yeah.
And it's a fraction of the cost. And they go, oh, that shoots 3 to 4 MOA. There's no way I would ever have that. This is careful shooting in the desert. I'm not saying it's horrible, 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 but it ain't up to $1,800 standards. Look at this group, dudes. I think that was with 77 grain. That group right there, 77 grain match. The other stuff was 55s. Squiggly marks. Squiggly marks. I gave an up arrow to the trigger. I give that a squiggly mark. On the Bren 2MS, I gave that an up arrow, kind of. This is careful shooting. This is granted from a polymer table, operationally, like we say. But I can think of 20 AR-15s I've tested that shoot better than this gun. And here come the Bren 2MS apologists. They're like, well, it's a battle implement. Doesn't have to be that accurate.
It's $1,800, man.
Dude, this sucker should be MOA.
When it competes against an AR.
Right.
The amount of accuracy you can get out of a freaking $500
So how much
AR.
vibration's going on in this short stroke piston system? We've always said that. In 2009, TD was reviewing with me, and we were like, we weren't fans of short stroke piston guns. And we said the DI system is not broke. Do not trash it. And at the time, we caught all types of crap and flack on the internet and YouTube, like, oh, what are you talking about? DI's dead. And we're like, no, it isn't. DI is awesome. And we stuck to our guns, and lo and behold, what's happened? The industry has circled back to direct gas impingement because it's more accurate, it's lighter weight, it's simpler, it has fewer parts. Who cares if you have to clean it back here? Who cares if your BCG gets dirty? It's going to get dirty either up front or in the back.
Yeah.
And last time I checked, our AR-15s that we've shot the heck out of run great. After thousands of rounds, DI works good. But now we have a piston gun that shoots like most piston guns. Okay, so how did it shoot? Accuracy, I will say fair. Not good, fair. Taking price into consideration, fair. Reliability, I will give a 0. It is horrible because of what happened. Granted, when I gorilla duct taped it together, we were able to shoot the gun. Oh, by the way, I took it out with Mrs. Nutnfancy up in the high mountains, and it broke on us again. Either the tape separated or something. I had an intention to run some more magazines through it and test it some more. The halves came apart, and honestly, at that point, I was so pissed off with the gun. I was like, forget it.
Yeah.
I might have 20 seconds of that video. I said, forget it. Let's go on to the next gun. So the trigger's good. I'm not saying there aren't reliable 2MSs out there. I'm saying with our sample, this is what happened. So would we buy it? Hell no. We would not buy a Bren 2MS, and we recommend you do not either. And if you have one, I recommend you sell it before the word gets out. That's what TNP says. No apologies. That's what you dial us up for.
It's the same thing we were saying in what, 2012, 13, 14.
Right.
This is the fact that this came out now, that this
Right.
is Gen 2, it's like they finished it in 2012, put it in the safe, and then brought it out. And they're like, look, guys, we got the market tapped. Look,
Right.
monolithic. It's heavy as shit. Minor ergonomic improvements.
Right. This really is on par with the flaw we discovered in the Sig MCX early on, shooting on the mountaintop. This is going to be probably a big echo in the internet, is that, I suspect. And all we're saying is you have two idiots, and this isn't idiot-proof. Welcome to gun design 101. You should make it idiot-proof.
The problem,
okay? If that's the way you want to look at it, hey, two idiots broke your gun. Okay, cool. That's what happened. And guess what? There's going to be a lot more idiots than us probably breaking this gun. Or maybe you just get lucky and it doesn't break. But damn, plastic. Come on now. Unbelievable.
The MCX was good enough besides that. Yeah,
this is our Sig MCX. This is a TNP gun. We love the MCX despite its growing pains. Yeah. Despite its growing pains. But we were mentioning this is how you do an end plate. Now, granted, this is a tactical carbine version, the folding stock. Show them that there's no movement back there. Look at that. Show them how stable that is.
It's rock solid.
Now, why? Here's one reason they can do this on an MCX. And let's be real. Let's be honest to the Bren. Is because this follows an AR-15 style of pattern, does it not?
Totally.
So you have an upper that separates and pivots up so we can take the bolt carrier group up from it. We don't have to come out the rear of the gun. As soon as you commit yourself to doing that, then you've got engineering problems.
Yeah.
So you have to make that removable and you have to make it stable, which are in conflict with each other. Sig said, screw that. we'll kind of steal it from the AR-15 and kind of be AR-15-ish in our approach, and they did just that. So there you go. The MCX gets it right.
Now called
by the way,
Virtus.
I could roll on paper from the MCX a piston gun that is amazing. You're talking like, 1 MOA with certain loads?
Yeah.
This gun is very accurate in its current form, very, very reliable. And in our testing, it was very, very reliable right up until we decided to break this one as well. It just snapped on us. It was a recoil spring assembly, which was not captured at the time. Go watch that video.
Yeah, they have fixed it.
And you can send your MCX in and they'll upgrade it free of charge. And a lot of TNPers did it. We love this gun. We're never selling it. This is how you do it. But again, it's a different design. It's an AR-15 M4 M16 design. I would way, way, way prefer any flavor of MCX or other Sig 556 piston-driven carbines over the CZ Bren 2MS. It's not even close.
And this doesn't even fold, which I find pretty funny.
No, they didn't give you that option either.
Nah.
So I would prefer a Mini 14 over this gun.
Yeah.
It's a piston-driven gun.
Yeah.
Proven. Awesome. We love it. Not as tactical, but I don't have to worry about it falling apart on me as I shoot it. Other options, show them that tread again. Any quality AR-15 pistol, DI gun, fantastic. This is wearing one of our gym techs on it.
And that's a pretty good comparison.
It's a lot lighter.
Pistol.
I mean, dude, even with a can, this is lighter. So what's my weight on this? 5 pounds, 11 ounces. I rest my case. Now, this is what I'd go with. I don't have to worry about any plastic bits falling off. This one comes with a shockwave on it, and that's not my favorite brace, but whatever. I think that's a shockwave on it. It's an adjustable shockwave. And we've tested this. It's going to have its own tabletop. Maybe bunker, I haven't decided. There you go. Palmetto AR-15 pistol. Build your own AR-15 pistol. A Tavor. Heck, you're almost at the weight of a Tavor with this thing.
Yeah.
No, not recommended. Sorry, CZ. Love you, mean it. Not recommended. Kind of airsofty in our estimation. And of course, you can click around on the internet and you'll find all types of positive press, how the Bren 2MS is the latest kick-ass tactical carbine to take on the world. TD.
It's just a bummer. Takes me back to doing the ACR and all the Wonder carbines. Remember how excited for the future everyone was?
Yeah.
DIAR suck. Don't get a Colt 69. Throw that all. No, we're going piston driven.
I've ruined a lot of guns for TD. You got to come test this gun with me. And he's like, yeah. And he gets out there and he sees what happens and how it shoots or weirdness of the gun. He's like, oh, I hate this thing. And I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's almost like the cooler it is, the more video games feature it front and center, the worse it acts. And it's the weird crap, like the Marlin Camp carbine that comes out of nowhere, and you're like, that's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
That's
almost
awesome.
the old school stuff. Now, there's some other good options that we kind of mentioned. The Scar 16.
Yeah.
It's at the same. Actually, it's going to be more. It's more. It's like above $2,000 or something. The Scar 16 shot great. It was accurate, reliable. It's cool. It's not quite as modular as this gun, but it got a very positive review from us. If you want something really second cool, video game approved, go with the Scar.
It's the official pedigree.
It shoots good.
SOCOM used
and
it.
It is battle proven.
Yeah.
It's battle proven.
Although they threw all theirs away. They got rid of the Scar 6.
How about the BRN 180 by Brownells, the upper?
Yeah.
So you could buy that, which is always out of stock, by the way, and it's not inexpensive. It's like $800, but I would recommend that. You don't want an AR-15, go with a BRN 180 upper by Brownells.
Someone in Patreon was saying he was able to stack a couple coupons on his, because I was like, dude, $800 for an upper is a little spicy for me.
Yeah, maybe you can get a discount coupon when they come in. They've been out of stock for a long time.
They just came out with Gen 2, I think.
Yeah.
So
we're not super excited on the Bren. I'm sorry, not the Bren, but the BRN 180. But it's an option.
I prefer this if we're doing
this
180 clones.
And there's a bunch of flavors of this type of gun.
They have some cool ones.
What do they call it? The Virtus.
Yeah. The Virtus.
Yeah, the Virtus, whatever. They're always changing the name.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same gun with some improvements. This is far and away a superior gun as we see it. And you're watching this video because you are interested in our opinion of the Bren 2MS, and we're giving it to you. That's all we can do, man. So yeah, this is a great gun. We freaking love it. I love
the new ones.
Love it. Love it. And everybody who shot this loved this gun. It's like, oh my gosh, I want one.
I almost kind of prefer the key mod one to the newer M-Lock. The M-Lock is slimmer, and I really like the size of this because it keeps the heat off you.
Right. So there you go. It is our bunker review on the Bren 2MS. Will it be improved in the future? And you did ask me that question. There are some things that are engineerable for this gun. Make that a metal part. Really spend some time in re-engineering that rear end plate so it does not move. There's got to be a way to do it. It will require some innovative thinking. Right now, it ain't there. And that the Bren community accepts it as is astonishing to me personally. If I was a Bren guy and I saw this, forget that the lower and upper would potentially separate, but I saw this, I was like, the gun's going back. Luckily, or hopefully you would have found that out in the gun store.
Let me do my future site real quick. I think this will be adopted by a small number of guys that are sad the ACR is probably going out to pasture.
Yeah.
It's not looking too good for it. They're going to hope this takes the fix.
Right.
And CZ will quietly start to withdraw it just like they did the first one. They won't import a ton of them. They won't try very hard in the market. They like having it in the catalog for LE.
I'm going to sign off on your future prediction, on your future speak, because I don't think this is going to sell well. Especially after this video. I think it's just going to kind of sit around, and I think the Bren 805 didn't sell that well. It's way expensive. It has some quirks. It's not that accurate. We had some huge reliability problems. It wiggles like this, and it's not lightweight.
They just need something to fill the basic semi-auto rifle square. So when people look at their catalog, they go, hey, do you not have anything to... No, we got something to compete there.
Here's a pro tip. Come out with your own flavor of direct gas impingement AR-15 and you'll have one.
Everyone else figured it out a long time ago.
Just do
a
that.
DIAR.
The engineering's done. And just slap your CZ logo on it. And guys are like, oh, CZ AR-15, cool.
IWI just did it. The Zion 15, which supposedly is pretty cool.
And there's a series of videos called AR-15 options that TD and I did years ago. Go look that up. We give you some other options there. We got to sign off. Thanks so much for bearing with us. It's been pretty much a rant session. And we don't apologize for it at all. It's warranted. As you've seen, it's warranted. That's what you come to the project for.
Listen, I'm just as hurt as you are.
We're an independent voice, thanks to our donors that allow us to be that way, and we will continue to do so. We'll see you later. From the bunker, Lieutenant Colonel Nutnfancy and TacticalDoodle.
Freeze, Indonesian Special Forces. Oh, wait. Hey, time out.
Hold on. My upper and lower came apart again, guys. Can you just stand by? Stand by. The plastic thing about that.
No, I know. You'd think.
I know. I shouldn't have broken it. I agree. I shouldn't have. But it broke. Where'd it go? Hey, can you everybody stop? I think it's on the ground here somewhere.
I told you.
Oh wait, it snapped in half. It won't go back in anymore. How does it work? Hell if I know. Hey, there's a little plastic piece that it goes to. Oh hell.
And yet people wonder why all these nations will go, yeah, we're just buying Colts.
Because it works.
We're buying Colt 609s or
an AR-15, M4, M16.
Yeah.
We're out of here.